I think my Skype recorder actually kicked in automatically.
Mine has as well.
Ooh, that's fancy.
All fancy, isn't
it? It's good. Oh, it has an all. Oh my!
Don't even have to worry about anything these days.
Christy bollocks! Sometimes it just fucking works, isn't it? Richard's still on Skype. Should we invite him? Just for a laugh, and just say, "Hey, you know, we had 3 attempts at the last one, but this one worked first."
Yeah,
time.
please come back.
Yes.
Look, we can do it professionally this time. I promise. Welcome to the Conquistabores. Tonight we take it to the extreme with ECW Living Dangerously 1999. Stepping in front of the roar of the ECW crowd is the franchise Cameron Phillips, the Japanese buzzsaw Euan Taylor, and the whole effing show Phil Doyle. Only tonight on the Conquistabores.
Anyway, Alan shall not be joining us this evening.
Okay.
I did tell him when we were recording, and he said he would have a think about it, and he would be on if it was okay. But obviously he's not. So.
Oh well.
And it's not really a show which really he has any great affections for anyway.
We knew this at the beginning.
He is
pretty much, yeah.
Wrestling racist, isn't he? To be honest.
Pretty much, yeah.
If it's not WWE, then you know.
WWF even.
Sorry, yeah, WWF. It's not pro wrestling, is it? It's not wrestling.
No, it's just not his wrestling.
It just gets put in the. I was trying to think of a racist term, but probably shouldn't go down that path. I would have thought.
No, it's not going down that path.
Not again.
It's not going down that path. Anyway, we started this.
I think so.
Wow, what a start!
Strange introduction.
I think it started basically with you saying Al's not here, and I thought, well, that'll do.
That's all right. That's fine.
That'll do.
Another question I was going to ask. You know how usually we have the would we not this month have the ECW one?
We did it for the WCW or New Japan podcast, so
yeah. But you know, ECW always had that extreme thing going on. We could do that.
Maybe I'll put it in there now. How about that?
Grand.
Welcome to the Conquistabores. Tonight we take it to the extreme with ECW Living Dangerously 1999. Stepping in front of the roar of the ECW crowd is the franchise Cameron Phillips, the Japanese buzzsaw Euan Taylor, and the whole effing show Phil Doyle. Only tonight on the Conquistabores. You feel better now?
It's like giving you work.
Thanks.
It's no problem.
Thanks. It reminds me when we did on the old movie Little Watching podcast, we did a Halloween special, and people just randomly started mentioning things going past because I was doing sound effects for it. So
right.
literally like, oh, there's like an Argentinian swan flying past. Oh, and there's 2 planes have just flown past and hit a helicopter.
So you had to Google
yeah, landed in a lake
swans.
And then caught on fire.
Nice.
And a fire engine turned up with a goat.
Beautiful. Anyway, are you leading the way on this one, Phil?
No, I don't know.
Because we start talking about goats now. So
hello, Ewan, and hello, Cameron.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
I'm all right.
I've just about got over the weekend.
Yay!
Well, we'll come to that in a minute because I've got I think a tradition now. I do like a list of things that have happened since the last podcast.
All right, okay, go on.
Which hasn't been that long since the last one now, is it?
I know.
No, miraculously, what, 2 months?
Yes.
Something like that.
Within the same quarter, that's quite impressive for us, isn't it?
It's not bad, actually. It's
Not
right.
Not bad.
We're the Rest Quarterly podcast going as of right now.
Oh, yes. Actually, hold on. Oh, the baby's crying. Hold on. I need to go settling down.
For fuck's sake.
Oh, man.
Only 2 seconds. He's just chirp.
Just bring him.
Just bring it.
Why are you talking to these strange men, Dad? Why?
These aren't the strange men you normally talk to over the internet.
No. They're usually when you find adverts on the side of phone boxes.
Fuck off.
You walked into that one.
I really did.
You slit walked right into that.
Hi.
Hi.
He's
Back
settled
again.
now. He's cool now. Anyway,
Cool. That's okay then.
thanks.
You didn't suffer. You didn't put a pillow over his face, did you?
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Oh, okay. Just
Really
checking.
we really are stretching that probable Benoit thing.
That needs to
I had a
be-
really nightmarish thought. You know how like like old school wrestling review have like what bar T-shirts and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I ever thought of like, what if we were to make T-shirts? And I was like, what would our T-shirts say? And the only thing I had in my head was a T-shirt emblazoned with probable Benoit across it.
Don't forget Mental Death Lariat.
Oh, yeah.
That was all right actually. Yeah.
Mental Death Lariat. Anyway, I've got a list of things that have happened since the last podcast.
Go on.
Okay.
Not complete, but we'll go with what we can do. Randy Orton got married, apparently.
Congratulations to him.
Well, Randy. Kevin Owen blocked Marissa Joan Hart on Twitter.
I read that today. That is hilarious.
This is
Fantastic.
brilliant.
Love it. Alberto Del Rio returned to WWE to a muted fanfare.
I would say so.
Well, it was probably. I think it's just the fact that as will be the case with these things, the internet was rife with who would be in the US title challenge.
Yeah.
And I have to admit to being a little surprised myself. I kind of avoided all the spoilers. I think the general consensus would be Tyler Breeze. It was going to be. Yeah. And obviously Tyler Breeze would get the shock victory because, everyone knew Cena was bugger enough.
Probably would have been a good idea as well, wouldn't it? But, no.
Yeah. But I'm not 100% sold on the Mex America thing.
It kind of makes no sense. And, I mean, the whole thing with Del Rio leaving, I think everybody kind of knew that he'd be back at some point because it was the social guy who did the insult and then Del Rio reacted and they kind of, the hand was forced. So I think,
Well, he's always maintained, wasn't it, how it was some backstage guy who was basically trying to crack some racist joke and he took offence to it and that's why he punched him.
Yeah.
So in the interviews afterwards, when he got released, and it was always like, oh, well, I can't say much because of the court case, but it was, a racist incident and he was being racist towards me. And that's why I decked him one, basically.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the whole Mex America thing, we can, join with other nations and this kind of stuff. Is that not like a really crappy in-joke alluding to that?
It is.
And they also fired Billy Gunn as well.
Well,
Yes.
PED taken for powerlifting?
Yeah.
Of all things?
Because you're a 52-year-old man with a physique like that.
Yeah.
He's not just an ass man, he's a pet man as well.
Let's do some powerlifting.
Yeah.
Because that's a good trade to get into. When I've got one of my best friends with the, CEO of the company. That's like the biggest wrestling company in the world. I'll do that.
Well, he'll probably turn up in TNA in due course.
They've already signed him. I'm being serious. They have.
What?
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure I read something somewhere.
Is that live breaking news?
No, I think it's actually happened. Let me check.
You are shitting it, surely.
Billy Gunn, TN. I thought he was taking like independent bookings and stuff because
somebody told me today he's signed with TNA. Hang on.
Not a chance. Surely not. They're not that stupid. Please tell me.
They're signed with a television network that sounds like bubblegum.
Yeah, TNA's moved channels, haven't they? They moved to Pop.
Pop, yep.
Never heard of it.
No. Apparently it needs to be the TV Guide channel.
Wow.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, Impact will be shown in a tiny little box in the corner of the screen.
Impact was shown during Bamboozle.
Nice.
I'd watch that. We got some new tag team champions for NXT with Dash and Dawson, who I really like.
Yes, they are great.
Because they're like a tag team from the 80s that just turned up suddenly. And we're like, right, we've got our satin jackets. Let's go beat somebody up.
We turn up, brace, sell, leave. Done.
Yeah. They're like, what was the Arn Anderson tag team called? Not the Brainbusters. Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
Yes.
They like kind of item. I like them. They're good at that. And the biggest news was Seth Rollins blew his knee out wrestling Kane.
Yes, he did.
That looked sore.
Yeah.
Pleasant.
Of all things to do, though, wrestling Kane in a street fight in Dublin.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel quite sorry for Seth Rollins because he's grown into the world title picture.
Yeah.
I think when he first got after WrestleMania, everyone was a bit kind of like, okay, fair enough, well, maybe we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah.
And he has kind of proven over the last few months that he was quite a good heel.
Yeah, he's done everything they wanted him to do. He's like worked with, Brock Lesnar and that
Sting,
Dean Ambrose and Sting.
Injured Sting, technically.
Killed Sting.
But it's
But he's been great. He's been like, as a heel, he's a douchebag. He's a proper douchebag
fantastic.
heel.
And you need to you want to hate him, and that's the whole point. But I think the plan, what they're saying now apparently is the plan was always that he was going to drop the title to Reigns at Survivor Series anyway.
Yeah.
So this is just kind of a really long way around of giving Reigns the belt.
Yeah.
But my feeling is if they end up with Reigns as he is, winning the world title at Survivor Series, he'll just be booed out the build.
That's what I was going to say. Here's my review of Survivor Series right now. Boo.
Yep.
Because it looks like the final's going to be at Ambrose versus Reigns.
Yeah, my personal whole plan would be, and it sounds really obvious, but I don't mind obvious in wrestling if it's done well.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine, Reigns is going to win the belt, but here's how it should go down. Basically, there's a whole build-up at the start of the night, it's Ambrose and Reigns in the final. They have this whole thing about mutual respect and how, they're best of buddies, but this is the title, so they might as well have a crack at it, and, there'll be no hard feelings or anything like that.
Yeah.
Essentially, this all lasts until about halfway through the match. Then Reigns starts bringing out the steel chairs and clocking Ambrose over the head with the ring bell and all this kind of stuff. But the referee does not call for any kind of disqualification. And everyone's like, well, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Yeah.
There might be a moment where Ambrose, picks up the steel chair in retaliation, but the ref takes it off him. I don't know, so it's like, it's as if, Reigns is getting away with everything. So basically, Reigns wins, and then ends up, pounding Ambrose in the middle of the ring, wins, blah, 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 gets the title. He turns heel. Basically, he's in with the Authority, but Triple H doesn't quite know what's going on. And that's kind of stuff. Triple H is a bit confused at the end of the broadcast. Raw the next night, there's a promo with Reigns and Triple H in the ring, and Triple H kind of goes, if you wanted to, join the Authority, if you wanted to be on my side, then you should have just said, we'd have done all this for you, we'd have done this for you. And then Reigns turns around and says something like, yeah, I might not have been your first choice, but at least I was Vince's.
Oofed.
And then you get no chance if that's what you got. And then Vince comes down and says, yeah, this has always been the man. Because if everyone thinks that anyway, and he's got a teacher's pet kind of style anyway, you might as well just run with the bloody thing.
Stone Cold made that comparison in his podcast, basically, comparing him to when The Rock came in, and The Rock was, rocking my ear and smiling, and everybody hated him. And then he turned heel, they put him with the Nation of Domination, and that side of his character that became The Rock could come out.
Yeah.
He could grow, become more popular,
Yeah, and then he did that thing of becoming so good as a heel, he kind of automatically became a face.
Yeah.
And Reigns might be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
So maybe in 2-3 years' time.
They kind of did that with the Shield, didn't they? Because the Shield came in as heels, and then they kind of went through that thing of becoming so good they were loved.
Yeah.
And then he's just kind of on the back end of that, and he just, he's, of the three of them, Ambrose and Rollins, he's had kind of the least to do, to a certain extent.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
they kind of changed a little bit, but he's just been the same dude. Not evolved very much since the end.
No, not really. Not really.
But that's this Sunday, isn't it? So we'll find out what happens then.
We'll find out.
Personally, I would love Kevin Owens to win.
I would dance a happy dance if that happens.
That would be beautiful, but I doubt they're going to run with it. They're not going to give him 2 belts at the one time.
The video posted of him doing that interview on top of a steel.
Yes, I've watched it at least 5 times. It's harder every time.
Because your first reaction, isn't it, when he says, I'm going to become the first man to hold the Intercontinental title and the world title at the same time, and you're going ultimate, and then that's Tom Phillips' whole thing as well. Yeah. And you can just see that just the way Owens kind of goes, psh, history didn't matter until I got here.
Yeah,
there you go.
Like, how did you get up here? How? I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
It's like, can't argue with that.
Brilliant. I just loved it so much. So that's the other bit of big news is that 2/3 of this podcast went to see a wrestling show at the last weekend.
Yeah, just a little minor one in a church hall somewhere,
Yeah.
All right, if you guys want to talk about that, I'm going to go for a lie down for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Basically, me, Ewan, and Al went to Fear and Loathing 8 at the SCCC in Glasgow. We were part of the 4,000 that went there for ICW's biggest show so far. It was stupendous. I loved pretty much a good 97% of what I saw. And
thing about Al there, is it then? Or?
Sorry?
Is that like a little dig at Alan then? It's either
No.
Like.
Yeah, the 3% when I turned around and just to my side. And it was brilliant. You couldn't knock the effort at all in any of them. And Mick Foley was booked just right. It wasn't as if he was just there as a here's Mick Foley, that's it, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, he genuinely had something to do on the night, but it's not as if it was too much on the night, kind of thing. It wasn't rammed down your neck either. The only real sort of American import they had that was working on the night was Rhino, and he had probably for me match of the night with Joe Coffey.
You also did facials of the night anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh, the face, man, the face. There was the moment where Rhino gored Joe Coffey through a table and then only got a 2 count out of it. And then there was a close-up on the big screen of Rhino's face. It was shocked expression. And it needs to be an internet meme of some variety. Right. Loved it. Loved it.
It was incredible. We did see the return of Cameron. I called it Phillips' favourite man, Jimmy Havoc.
Yes.
He made a surprise appearance during the 6-man tag.
Yep. Because I thought, when Jimmy Havoc tweets on a Friday night, I've just been kicked out of a club in Scotland for being too drunk. Scotland, full stop. Too drunk, full stop. And I'm thinking, why would Jimmy Havoc be in Scotland on a Friday night when one of the biggest shows in wrestling history is taking place in Glasgow on a Sunday night?
How
why?
Convenient.
Why would Jimmy Havoc have come up to Scotland for no reason? So that's what I was thinking. I was like kind of going, I think Jimmy Havoc's probably going to have a play in this at some point. And during the 6-man tag, up he comes.
Nice.
And it was amazing. And the main event was also stupendous. You cannot fault. I bet if there's someone from WWE watching any ICW at the moment, because although Vince doesn't really give a shit about any other company, apparently, you will get people who work in the company that will watch it. Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
If they are on demand watching that ICW main event, they must be kicking themselves that they let Drew Galloway go.
Oh, yeah.
Because he went, and it was just amazing. It was just so well done. It was so just like, Drew Galloway's the cocky, muscle-bound heel, and Grado is the kind of, almost like Dusty Rhodes-ish kind of everyman.
Just about.
Apparently, it was suggested to Mick Foley that afterwards that sort of saying, is Grado kind of Scotland's Dusty Rhodes? And he went, yeah, probably. He was coming around to that kind of idea.
Scottish Dream.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Scottish Dream. And then he's
so instead of polka dots, he'll be covered in yellow haggises.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're covered in iron brew bottles.
Iron brew bottles, probably.
Man, I'd buy that T-shirt. But this was like the biggest wrestling show since Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks in 81 or something, wasn't it?
It was the biggest grossing gate for a British company's wrestling show since Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks fought in Wembley Arena in 1981.
A match that sucked dick.
Yes, in a match that was utter pish.
It's a bonkers idea, like the fact that obviously the wrestling stagnated in this country for that long, or didn't have access to those kind of venues to do that kind of gate for that long.
Oh yeah,
and it's taken them how long to build up to that? How long have they been going now? 5?
Well, ICW.
Yeah,
ICW itself's been going since about 2007.
Yeah, About 8 years.
I think the first show was at the Maryhill Community Centre, and like
in front of 6 people.
in front of about 6, probably about 6 people.
But like you said, it seems like they've done it without dragging in stacking the card with like giant US imports.
No,
it's not like it's a totally Americanized show. It has a definite. The whole federation has a definite Scottish flavour to it.
I noticed that. Was a bit
you may have noticed.
No,
but it's their own characters. They've done it with people having gimmicks which have been invented and developed in an ICW ring.
Yeah.
It's not like they've kind of sort of said, oh yeah, we'll get sort of 5 or 6 American guys, base the whole show around them, they fuck off next month, we'll get another 5, 6 American guys in next month. None of that. It's been a continual surge from then on. And in the last sort of 3 years, they've gone from doing the garage in Glasgow to the SECC. And that's, and now they're doing, I think, about 3 UK tours next year, culminating in the Hydro. Now, for those that don't know, the SECC had a capacity of 4,000. The Hydro is directly opposite it on the banks of the River Clyde in Glasgow, and it has a capacity of 11,000.
Bonkers.
So if they sell out the Hydro...
Mark Dallas will do a naked streak of the entire arena and hug every single person.
Okay, I'm booking my ticket.
I'd probably take him up on that just for the sheer hell of it. Just say I had.
So when the WWE rocks up to Glasgow, do they go to the Hydro then? Do they go?
Yes,
yes,
they do.
It used to be in the SECC, but the TNA recorded Impact in the Hydro when we were there 2 years ago. They got a fairly decent crowd for that, but probably not. I don't think 11,000 worth.
Oh no,
because they tarped off the top level. So we'll have to see. But I fully anticipate the drive is there for them to do it, and they've all got the ability. It's just getting the stories right and getting those stories right.
I suppose also it's like keeping the names they were making them popular in the company.
Oh yeah.
It'd be very easy to NXT whatever to snap up 5 of them or something. Probably not saying that would have happened, but they must be getting some kind of reputation, here and overseas and everything. So.
I think so. Well, for example, like Kaylee Ray has already done an episode of NXT. Kaylee Ray was also on the TNA's British Boot Camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's obviously a regular in ICW. And there's other guys that would fit the WWE mold quite well. I could quite easily see like Joe Coffey doing an NXT match.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
if Rhino goes back and reports that he's had a cracking match with.
Do you reckon they might bring some people in as like a surprise into the NXT show in London this year? Maybe not necessarily for TV, but like for the dark match beforehand or something.
Sure.
I'd imagine they'll certainly be doing tryouts.
Yeah.
And what becomes of those, I don't know.
Grado just read it in like the final with Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
Just when we're speaking of Grado, the atmosphere when I'm going to spoil the show, when Grado won the belt, the atmosphere in the SECC was something I've never experienced before in my life.
No, it was very, very
amazing.
Amazing. It was. I mean, I've never left a wrestling show before and been singing the wrestler's theme tune on the way out,
and on the train.
Being on the train as well, but walking through that corridor out of Hall 3 of the SECC at the end of the night towards the doors to get back to the train station. The sound of everyone singing like a prayer was just reverberating around the place.
The last time I heard of that happening was after Fandango. After that,
exactly. But it was like, I mean, I've not had that. I've had that at football.
Yeah,
I've not had that at a wrestling show.
No,
not singing like a prayer at football. I go and watch Glasgow Rangers for crying out loud. But it was like it was just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. It's a fantastic memory to have. But it's a federation with a rapidly developing and favourite fan base, much like in the 90s in Philadelphia.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that. See, I was going to segue from the fact like it's nearly Thanksgiving and Survivor Series is on soon, so let's talk about ECW.
Cameron wins.
I tell you what, Phil, if you want, you can edit mine out and just use that.
No, I think both. I think it'll be like a choose your own podcast. I'll leave both of them in there. Let the audience choose what they want to go with.
The audience choose which segue they would like to have.
Just turn it off, would you not?
Don't, Euan.
What?
Oh, sick,
man.
we will crown an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. There are no paid-off judges at ringside. There are no predetermined draws. And most importantly, Don King has been born from the building. There can be only one, the recognized ECW heavyweight champion of the world, the human suplex machine Taz. The unrecognized FTW champion, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying maniac Sabu. We will crown one undisputed ECW heavyweight champion of the world live on pay-per-view. It's ECW's Living Dangerously.
So, Living Dangerously 1999.
Right, yeah. This was your choice, wasn't it, Euan?
It was.
And why did you choose this podcast?
Why on earth?
I'm not saying, I'm not saying in that tone of voice. I'm not saying why on earth would you choose this podcast. I'm just genuinely interested. Why did you choose this podcast?
This show is sort of known as, if you wanted to put ECW in one show, this show was basically ECW in a nutshell. For the most part, you had your technical wrestling, you had your hardcore mess, you had questionable crowd chants we'll get to.
Yes, I will probably make comments on the crowd.
That's right.
Yeah, I might even compare it to the ICW crowd. But there's little differences, and I'll explain why later.
I don't think the ECW crowd ever sang anything to the tune of disco.
No, they didn't. But there's other reasons I'll go into later on that there's the slight differences between the two.
All right.
I'm thinking more. Think attitude towards the women.
Oh yes.
So anyway,
some context around it. I checked what was happening at the time with the other federations at the time, and this aired on March 21st, and the week after you had WrestleMania 15, which was that the Kennel from Hell WrestleMania?
That was, yes.
Yeah.
They're not one of the good ones, but
no, not Kennel from Hell. That was
the big Bossman
and Bossman. But I know what you mean. The Hell in a Cell match between Bossman and Taker. Yeah.
When Bossman got hung from the cell when it raised up, which was a good idea.
Yeah.
And the WCW pay-per-view this month was the WCW Uncensored, which headlined with Hollywood Hogan versus Ric Flair. Because we're about 3 months down from the Finger Poke of Doom.
Are we?
So, yeah, essentially, I think this is pretty much peak wrestling, isn't it?
Well, I would imagine, 1999, ECW are not maybe having as good a year as they were the year before, but aren't quite at the level where they've crashed and burned just yet.
They're getting there.
WWF just come out, they've just kind of still doing the Austin McMahon feud, which peaked at, they had the Valentine's Day Massacre cell match.
Yeah, they did.
And like I say, they had the Finger Poke of Doom in WCW, which is when Mick Foley won the belt, which was kind of the end. The big shift in the Monday Night Wars, where WWF started winning the ratings battle every week.
Well, they were starting to win it sort of the year before, weren't they? I mean, I think it's often credited with. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's often credited with the Mike Tyson episode the year before.
Yeah.
So they've had a good year of sort of trading, being a bit more competitive and maybe having switches here and there. But yeah, it's starting to get to that stage where WCW fall by the wayside. Yeah. Probably right to say that of the 90s, late 90s kind of popular surge in professional wrestling in America, you're probably hitting this.
Not far off peak. I mean, it's 2 years obviously till WrestleMania 17, but I think TV wise, they were just up and up from now, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I think it was the year after they became a public company and they made billions and stuff. So yeah, so it is and the ECW was part of that kind of ride, and obviously they've got another good year or so before the wheels start to come off there.
Yes, I'd say obviously there was a Living Dangerously 2000, but there wasn't a Living Dangerously 2001.
No, there was not.
No,
because that point well,
Yeah, it'd all gone to hell in a handbasket and everyone had pretty much left. But anyway, we open with a promo from Taz.
We do.
Badass Taz.
Yeah. Yes.
Going to break your f***ing neck, Taz.
I did write down, swear at opening promo, definitely ECW.
I'm going after his jaw. I'm telling you, Sabu, my game plan, brother. I'm coming after your jaw like a shark. Going after that blood and water. Like stink on shit.
Yeah, he compares himself to... Obviously, he's broken Sabu's jaw at a show. And that's the big thing that he says he's going to work for. Like, like a shark smells blood and water, Taz is going to go for Sabu's jaw tonight in the title match. Because it is a unification bout for Taz's World Heavyweight Championship, ECW Championship, and the FTW Championship, which Taz invented beforehand, which Sabu currently holds. So the winner gets both. So he asks, could Ric Flair beat Taz? Could Steve Austin beat Taz? And then ends in the immortal "Beat me if you can, survive if I let you."
That's a good line though. Fair play to him. That's a good line.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yes.
It's probably the most that's like the best thing I've ever seen Taz do.
Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you.
Because I watched him I first saw him in WWF. Rumble 2000.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Excellent angle. That's the first time I clapped eyes on Taz. I did not watch much ECW at the time at all.
But it was really hard to watch because they didn't have the TV license show by then, did they? Was it the year after they get the TV
I think
show?
they had a general kind of I don't know when it was, but they had a general kind of highlight show for like an hour on Bravo.
That's the one I
Bravo
remember.
showed the TNN shows, but they were a wee bit behind. That's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, this time around, as far as the UK to America kind of thing goes, we had to wait a long time for pay-per-views.
Yeah. We'd only get them on tapes, would we?
You'd have to go looking for them. You probably could. You'd have to really go looking for them and know someone who knew someone.
Also, to be fair, no one watching Bravo was watching for wrestling. Let's be honest. At that time,
What were they looking for, Euan?
Adverts.
Fair enough. Anyway, then we get back to the arena, and Joey Styles running down the card, which isn't quite Growly Vince.
No.
I've
also noted as well that there's a little dip in the production quality from other shows that we've done. just a little
dip.
Little dip. Because I'm sure when Taz was on, I think he was on Colt Cabana's podcast, he said he designed all the logos for the pay-per-views and stuff.
You didn't design something?
Oh no, I did. Yeah, I designed all of the logos.
Then maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
All of the pay-per-view logos, the boys' T-shirts.
Wow. Are you an artist?
I taught myself how to do graphic design back then because Poland had money to pay someone.
Using what? Microsoft Paint?
No, I had this guy who would print the silk screen who'd make the T-shirts. He had a Corel Draw program when it first came out, and he taught me how to use the Corel Draw gimmick, and then that's how it happened.
Fun. Okay,
yeah,
that's
and it was a hobby. It was just a hobby, and it just
Sure.
stuck. I still design all my own stuff. Yeah.
Really does show that this logo was not designed by a professional.
What you should have said, Phil.
God bless him, but that is a shit logo for a pay-per-view. There's no chrome on it. There's no flames. I mean, come on. You've got to have something than just like Comic Sans or whatever it is.
Oh God!
I've got it up in front of me on the WWE Network, and it's just like that's your best.
It's a bit like it's a bit like that. Have you seen that? There was on Twitter a while ago. There was like some festival, and they had like loads of metal bands, and they all had pretty much like this all shared. The band names were all on this poster, and they shared like pretty much two fonts between them all.
Yeah,
all of these kind of gothic kind of angular things. And there was another band. There was a band in the corner who'd written their name in like Comic Sans or something like that. It just said "Funky Funky Funhouse," and they stood out a freaking mile. It was a bit like that.
Oh my God, that sounds like a remake of Funhouse. Pat Sharp in the Funky Funky Funhouse.
Oh man. Anyway, back to before I give my funhouse rumor. I nearly gave my funhouse rumor there. What? Everyone knows the thing about Funhouse, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Phil?
What about Funhouse?
the little kind of backstage information about the show Funhouse.
Don't tell me he slept with the cheerleaders.
Yep. There we go. At the same time,
It's a whole lot of cum all over your face. Funhouse.
For legal purposes, before Pat Sharp sues us, we have no legal basis to say that. For all we know, it's a complete lie.
Is that where the guns came from for the games?
Oh my god!
Anyway, moving on.
They skimmed the top of the Pat Sharp spunk tank.
I'd like to say this has gone down in tone, but I think I've contributed to it.
Super Crazy versus Tajiri, come on.
Yes.
These two have had an outstanding feud here in ECW in recent months. And put quite simply, the winner of this matchup live on pay-per-view wins their feud.
Was anybody else disappointed that it wasn't like Grand Muta Tajiri? It was like regular wrestler Tajiri.
Yeah, it wasn't like he's not got like the sort of the trousers on with the Japanese flags on, or he hasn't got the beard.
He also looks like he's 12 as well.
Yeah, he looks really young.
But fair play to them. They can flip around, can't they, those two?
Oh, they can do a lot of flippy doodads.
My notes here are basically scribble. I can't even read them because it just there's a whole paragraph where I just write and it just looks like a continual line. Yeah. And then I've written below it, I cannot write fast enough to document this opening exchange.
There's a whole sequence of flips and moonsaults that ends with a double kip up. Both of them flip up.
Bloody brilliant.
Jesus Christ.
The Young Bucks would appreciate it.
Weight down across the legs of Tajiri, who gets the feet up. Beautiful hood and comes off the legs. This can be one count only. Nice rope move by Super Crazy. Flip Tajiri. Get your Super Crazy with the feet, body scissors. Into an arm drag. Back the other way, full head of steam. Beautiful springboard moonsault. Into arm drags.
Oh man, I thought it was amazing. I loved this.
Tajiri does like a flip off the ring with like the margin for error is because like.
No.
The ramp to the ring, obviously if you've not watched the show, listener, is like level with the ring itself. It's like, I think...
It's a raised ramp, basically. Yeah.
And then, like, either side of that is like a little gap and this guardrail where the fans are.
Yeah.
And so when the rest is stood there, they can probably put their arms out a little bit and touch them both sides. And at one point, Super Crazy stood between the ramp and the guardrail, and Tajiri comes off the ropes with the springboard moonsault and hits him between those two gaps.
Is this the Asai moonsault? Off the rope, he does to the outside.
If he's a foot either way, then he's basically dead.
Yeah, if he is going to crack his leg off either the ramp or the guardrail.
I think they do mess up at some point.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to say. There's a bit sort of halfway through. I think Super Crazy goes to top rope. Tajiri's inside the ring standing.
Oh, yeah.
And Super Crazy goes up to the rope to kind of plancher off it and springboard off it, and then he just slips and then ends up just kind of flopping.
Judy basically lets the crowd chant "You fucked up" and kicks him in the face really hard.
Yeah, but it's just like this is what I'm going to for not the first time tonight. I'll probably talk about the ECW crowd. When we were at the ICW show, when we were at Fear and Loathing of the Night, I don't think any one person in that entire building wanted the wrestlers to fuck up.
No.
We all wanted them to have a really good match, and we wanted to give them an environment.
There was one oopsie.
There was one oopsie, but
if you're available.
There was a really small kind of "you fucked up," and then it just kind of was it. I really think
changed into is that person dead?
Yeah, well, that was it. Are you talking about BT Gunn?
I'm talking about BT Gunn, who missed 3 available tables and hit the floor, falling off the top of a cage.
Yes, that's the one. Looked a little bit out to lunch afterwards. Anyway, you get these like guys who bloody. There's some fella in the background who must be at least 25 stone, and he's pointing at Super Crazy, saying "You fucked up." I mean, come on, mate. If you tried to do that,
considering everything they pulled off in like the opening, but before that.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Yeah,
that chant I find can be quite disrespectful at times.
Yeah, I find it like look at what's gone before. Could you do actually this stuff? There's folks still putting their bodies on the line for your entertainment here. He makes one mistake and it's like you fucked up. Get lost. some ECW fans were the worst enemy of the company.
They were drunk frat boys, basically, weren't they? A large chunk of them.
Essentially, yeah. Essentially,
I mean, that environment obviously made for a great atmosphere, especially across TV, because the noise they make is they get that across really well on the broadcast. But but
there's that difference between being enthusiastic and fervent and passionate, and then just turning off.
I think the NXT audience is kind of
the NXT audience,
kind of
a little bit, yeah.
Making another ECW reference, the ICW crowd, Cameron could attest to this. A lot of the crowd had drank quite a lot.
Well, yeah, it's Scotland.
The entire justification, Scotland.
It's not racist because we're Scottish.
So it's done.
Well, considering at one point I was seeing a guy walking past and he had basically 4 pints in each hand.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had the whole 8-pinter, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's some kind of carrying thing for that, not just the actual glasses by themselves.
No, he had the glasses by themselves. He had like a finger in each one and like 4 of them in each thing, and he was like, off he went. I think they might have been all for him, who cares?
Probably were.
For him, otherwise that's quite unhygienic.
But anyway, did you hear, regarding the fall from Super Crazy, did you not want to spend too much time on it, because I'm going to just find the whole point, but did you hear Joey Styles trying to cover on commentary?
It is raining outside very hard. The floor inside the convention hall is slippery. 2.
Which is like, well done, Joey. You tried.
It's not the floor he slipped off. And
no, but it was on the floor before, so his feet might have been wet as a result.
Yeah, B, this is not an open-air venue. There is a
He
roof.
tried.
Listen, he's doing his best.
Yeah.
Joey's doing his best.
There was just...
It's hard calling the show... We should mention that. I mean, it must be quite hard to call an entire show by yourself.
Yeah. I
mean, trying to do play-by-play and throw some colour in there as well.
And I think it's refreshing in the fact that at no point in this show does Joey Styles say anything like, what a manoeuvre. He actually knows the names of the moves, and that makes 10 times the difference as far as I'm concerned.
I also made a note here about the ring makes a really good noise.
It does.
The ring is very well mic'd up.
It's very well mic'd up.
And then the match finishes, because it finishes really quick.
It does kind of come out of nowhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of just, it's Tajiri Hurricanrana. It's reversed into a roll up for the 3, and Super Crazy wins. And it's a little bit out of nowhere, but it's after a really high tempo, balls to the wall match. Like it's
a great starter.
What a starter that is! There's no holding back from either of those guys. And for just there's no titles on the line, but I think Joey Styles just explains it like the winner of this wins the feud.
Yep.
And that's it. It's like great.
That's what you need, isn't it?
That'll do, mate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, because we're a bit too quick on our podcast in this week, so we watched the show a while ago. So I'm not actually sure what comes up next, but all I've written is camel working promo is so annoying.
Hey Taz, don't you remember what it was like to have the best manager, Phil Alfonso, in your career? Well, tonight you stand alone, Daddy. I'm with Sabu. You're 100%. He's 70%. He's 100%. But if he gets hurt, I'm gonna tape him up. I'm gonna glue him back together, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna kick your ass big time.
Oh, it's Sabu and everyone's favorite pothead RVD talking about the title match tonight.
The camera's just going between them really quickly, going back and forth and in and out and zooming. And it's
I've just got Bill Alfonso says if Sabu is broken, he'll tape him back together. They censor the word ass, but Taz was allowed to say shit earlier on.
Obviously.
And I put Sabu doesn't hang about.
Nope.
So there we go. I think it disappears.
I also enjoy the fact that the way that Sabu has decided to emboss the belt in his name is put some tape over it and write his name.
Yeah. He's also got that really weird jaw thing going on. His jaw. I'm thinking,
this is a question I noted about this, because I didn't know you could tape a jaw up.
Well, it doesn't look like it would do you any good.
No.
You can understand, like when the dude comes out with his shoulders taped or, ribs taped, because you can oh, okay, that's giving some kind of support. But, he's just made a tape beard.
Essentially, yeah.
He's just put beard on his face.
And he's put
a tape on his face to get a beard out of it.
He's put FTW on it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I don't think that's going to really, you want it to go over the top of the head, surely, to kind of keep the jaw from moving. Yeah.
You'd think so.
You think so. But then this is Sabu, isn't it? So,
Pretty much. But anyway, next we get Steve Carino.
I mean, these two come in
And he seems to have an impromptu match against Balls Mahoney.
I think basically Balls comes out to shut him up, essentially, because he's just gibbering on.
Yeah.
So I just say there's not much to talk about this match. My favourite part of this match was, I think at some point, Balls is, on the mat, and Steve Corino gets a chair.
Yes.
And the crowd are cheering him. I use the chair, and then he puts the chair down and sits on it.
Does a chin lock.
Balls in a chin
lock, yeah.
And the crowd boo the normal use of a steel chair.
Yes. He just uses it to sit down.
Yeah, and the crowd boo that.
Yeah.
He's going to use the chair. Steve Corino's going to be hardcore. He's going to use the chair on Balls Mahoney. Measuring Mahoney.
And
then shortly after, Balls gets up and gives Corino a grade 3 concussion.
Yes, a brutal chair shot. I think I've written down, the ref looks at Corino and just shakes his head. Nah, he's dead.
No, that's it.
Leave him
As if to say,
there.
you'll be feeling that one in the morning.
Yep.
Dude. Are we playing that wonderful game of who in this ECW show is still alive?
Oh, this is not going to go well.
Is Axel Rotten not dead?
Yes, I'm sure he is.
So.
Hang on.
A very brief aside, did you see that music video that someone did for the song called Dead Wrestler Beach?
No.
I'll post it for you after the show. It's
Okay.
brilliant. When we get to do the...
Why am I laughing?
It's a great song.
Oh, wait, no, Axel Rotten is still alive.
Is he? Oh, right. I apologise to Mr. Rotten. And basically, this is a very short match, all centred around one steel chair.
Yep.
Because it's designed to just basically, beat up.
Let the crowd chant Balls.
Let the crowd chant Balls, and Balls Mahoney can then attack Steve Corino, and then Nyon knock his head off with a steel chair. An unprotected chair shot. There's something you haven't seen for a while.
Nope.
And he takes that like an absolute bastard, and he's down. I don't think there's much
t-shirt right there. That is.
I don't think there's much selling needed there on Corino's part from that. It is genuinely thunderous.
His body just went and go down.
And down now. Yes.
I just thought, I think when it happens, if you look carefully, you can actually see his soul leave his body.
I think you can, yeah. I think
just momentarily.
I think his
body moves and the soul's still there.
I think his conscience hits the mat before his actual body does. Yeah.
Yeah. It's brutal.
It's not really that much. I mean, I think
using the chair for its intended purpose is the best.
Is the best bit. Yeah, it's kind of a part comedy kind of match in that
part
sense.
Comedy, part career resisting match.
But is it even a match? No, it's like people come out and have a fight, and that's essentially it.
The bell rings at the end, and they raise the guy's
That's
hand.
true, actually.
We'll get some match later on that is just literally just a fight.
You notice though, when Balls pins him, he doesn't actually put any kind of pressure on him. He just kneels. He just one knee on one side and he puts on the other side.
Yeah.
Doesn't actually, put any pressure on his shoulders to hold him down.
Do you really need to do it at any point, considering
he's essentially a corpse at this point? We can understand that.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you can at least put your hand on him or something, or a fingertip, like Jake Snake used to do after DDT, just to kind of imply that you're pinning him, as opposed to just standing over his dead body.
No,
celebrating a murder.
The other thing I've put for this is that earlier on in the match, obviously before this, is that Balls Mahoney has like a frog splash.
Oh yeah,
which also looks like it absolutely hurts like hell.
Because he's not a light man.
No, this is not.
And he does a leg drop, doesn't he? Was it the New Jersey Jam, whatever?
He goes up for the leg drop, but he misses that one.
That looks like he shouldn't do that too many times.
No.
Because that's going to make something bad happen to your back.
That's going to be a hip replacement.
Dudley promo.
The Dudley promo.
They are the 5-time former ECW World Tag Team Champions, the Dudley Boys. They beat the pants off of Terry Saturn. They beat the Shaw out of Hack Myers. They beat the citizenship out of Masato Tanaka. They beat the Extreme out of the Sandman. And then they broke the neck
of Beulah McGillicuddy, starting a wave of terror, capitalized when they took down the Public Enemy, capitalizing on the fact that someone paid them off to run Public Enemy out of town.
It's basically about how the Dudley Boys
beating dudes up
repeatedly, basically, and they were paid off by someone to try and break New Jack's neck.
They were paid off by Mustafa.
And that ends up being revealed as Mustafa, who is New Jack's tag partner in the Gangsters.
Yep.
So later on tonight...
We're building up to the hot match of the night.
Oh, yes. Later on, you're going to get Mustafa versus New Jack.
Can't wait.
Oh, yes. The best part of this whole video is when Joey Styles says, the Dudley Boys beat the citizenship out of Masato Tanaka.
Yes. Yeah, that was good.
I found that quite...
That's a good line, actually. Yeah, I forgot about
that. Anyway, on to the next match, which is Antifaz del Norte versus Little Guido of the FBI, the full-blooded Italians.
Which at this point consists of Little Guido and Big Sal, and that is it.
And Big Sal, because, a couple of nights ago, Tracy Smothers and...
got destroyed.
Yeah, basically. And
the Big Don.
And the Big Don, they've split, basically.
Anybody notice, because Guido comes out on Big Sal's shoulders, that he nearly knocks himself out?
I basically the same thing, that he nearly knocks himself out on the top of the entranceway.
Little Guido almost got knocked silly. Coming through the entrance.
Surely you must have rehearsed that at least once.
Yeah.
Surely you know how tall you are on the man's shoulders.
I think Joey Styles brings it up as well.
And they're a bit stereotypical, these two, aren't they?
Just a bit.
If you caught it, they're a little bit stereotypical. But also, at some point in the match, I just kind of blinked and went, wait a second. This is what Enzo Amore and Big Cass would be like if they were in the 90s.
Let me tell you something. If me and Big Cass had a dime for every time we got beat up as kids, we'd have 0 dimes. That's because me and Big Cass are not SAWFP.
He was like an electrified ferret, isn't he?
Yes, it probably would be.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing. It's like little scrappy dudes who gets into trouble and these big dudes to get him out of it. Obviously done a lot better with Enzo.
Well, yeah. And obviously, Big Sal, I don't think would wrestle as well as Cassidy does.
I think he's too Big Sal, to be honest.
I think he's quite...
Because he's got the big coat that Viscera would wear.
Yes, the Viscera coat.
That's got about 4 coats in it.
I think that's what it's known as in the catwalks of Milan.
The Viscera coat.
Yes.
The Big Daddy V coat.
The Big Daddy V coat, yes.
Good. King Mabel coat.
Yes.
Big Daddy V.
Oh, yes, the one that takes at least 8 cows. So, anyway. There's one part of this in the early going I've just went, this is way too fast. You know when you get that Jim Ross thing of slow down?
Yeah.
The talent should slow down and let the audience breathe in the spot. I'm like, well, yeah, probably you're right. And this is probably an example of... Because I think ECW had a lot of accusations at the time of just being this kind of wham-bam thing, didn't they? And just there was no kind of... in the matches, it was all just spot-heavy kind of idea. And I think... Just,
well, they had their wrestlers, but they left, didn't they? Because they had Dean Malenko and Guerrero and Jericho and those kind of guys. So they had that. They did have the wrestlers for a while, but then they would be picked up by the bigger companies who could pay more money. And then so they'd have to kind of get more guys in, and then the guys wouldn't necessarily have any kind of, notoriety or fame. They'd have to do stuff to get noticed. I think it's, it's the same thing that happens on the independent circuit these days. You kind of have to do that stuff to get noticed, to get people through the door in the first place. Then you end up stuck in a cycle of having to do it every week just because that's what people expect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And then you just kind of stuck doing it, aren't you? There's no way to get out of it. But
no.
And they're throwing themselves all around, and it's like clearly there's no mats on the floor, so it's just bare concrete.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where Big Sal puts Antifaz through a table that does not look pleasant for anybody involved whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. Up until this point, though, the fans are all chanting boring. at one stage, which, once again...
I believe they're also chanting "You fat fuck" at Big Sal as well.
Yeah, pretty much. I have put a note on here again. Some guy from the crowd shouts "fuck you" so loud they actually have to bleep it from the broadcast.
Fair play. I mean, if he's that loud, surely you keep it in just out of respect to the man.
Well, sorry, mate, it's beyond our control.
But this reminds me, I was watching. Me and Heath were talking, and we were talking about the Montreal Screwjob.
Aye.
And we thought, I've got to be there, but let's watch it, let's put it on. And it ended up being like the most uncomfortable watch because the whole crowd at the just chanting faggot at Shawn Michaels.
Oh, nice.
And just homophobic stuff just flying out of their mouths towards him throughout the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the network, obviously they probably process the sound a little bit to kind of get it out, but it's so clear what they're saying. And like say there, like there's some guy who's in like the robes at the hard camera, and you can clearly hear what he's saying, and none of it is kind.
No.
That's the explosive element that Michaels brings to the dance. Oh!
But like how much you can't get rid of that because that's the environment it was in. So this is supposed to be like a document of what happens, the show and stuff. So it's difficult to
nearly at Survivor Series 97 and the Conquistabores blog. And when I started doing the project, there's 2 pay-per-views I didn't look forward to doing. And Survivor Series 97 is one, and Over the Edge 99 is the other.
Oh, I believe I can fly.
Oh. Oof. You would.
Thump.
But seriously, that like every single... There's a sign that someone puts up about Pat Patterson being gay and all sorts. It's like the crowd is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. The crowd are proper brutal. And like I say, there's all very well, having a passion for the product, and that's great.
Yeah.
But there's certain levels where it just gets really tribal, and it's not that good.
And I think the WWE had the crowd was like that, but I think it was around this time they started to pull that back a bit. Like when I think of 97, 98 WWF, like you think about like it's like this in ECW, like the crowd are like on top of the ring, aren't they? There's no space between the people on the ring itself. And then I think it was like the year after they put in those new the security barriers, so the kind of the big black ones.
Yeah.
That are about a foot further away from the ring, so the ring kind of becomes a bit more spaced out from the crowd, and it's like less on that kind of smoky old atmosphere.
Yeah, there's less on top of you. Yeah.
But in a way, that made it more dangerous as well because it then made that margin for error a lot greater because a lot of the guys, a lot of the aerial moves they do relied on the ring being that close, whereas there's, as later on in ECW, there's a lot more fuck-ups because they are not taking that into account, and what was a good spring before isn't a good spring anymore, and
basically the ECW crowd is a bit annoying.
Basically, most of the time.
Yeah.
After he slams through the table, they put Antifaz back in the ring. There's a leg drop from the top rope by Guido, and into a Sicilian crab.
Not a Boston crab.
Looks suspicious like a Boston crab, but maybe
totally different.
European, totally different. And Antifaz, I don't think he really taps. I think the referee just calls it.
Yeah.
And some other random dudes just come out to the ring.
That's be Tracy Smothers and the Big Don.
The security for the ring is terrible because like people just seem to be able to just walk out whenever they fancy.
Well, yeah, indeed.
Just whenever they fancy, just walk out to the ring.
And they have a sort of standoff. Tracy Smothers attacks Guido. The Donna tries to attack Big Sal when he's got his back turned with the flag. There's a rather brilliant moment where there's like one of the flag shots doesn't do anything to him. Big Sal turns around. There's another flag shot just as he's turned around. And then the Don tries to pretend he didn't do anything with it. He just kind of holds the flag and goes, this thing. I'm just holding it.
That's when he drops the Viscera coat, isn't it? That goes.
Yeah, that goes.
They'll run for a fight.
And then off he chases them up the aisle. They go up the aisle, and then that's it, really.
That's it.
I mean, this match it's all right, but it's nowhere near what you've had before, and it's too damn fast.
Yeah,
it just needs to slow down and breathe a little bit. So thus far we've had a really, really good opener, and then 2 okay-ish matches.
Yeah, and 1 pointless match.
Yeah. Next up is a wonderful advert for the ECW website in which the word online is hyphenated.
For you fans who are looking for inside news, up-to-the-minute information on ECW, or looking for ECW's complete online catalog of home videos, check out ECWWrestling.com.
1999, kids. 1999.
Different era.
Different era.
Online being hyphenated as the equivalent of the CompuServe website on WCW.
Boing, boing, boing. Anyway.
I put a note there. I can't remember what it's for though. I put, they stick a boot into WWF/WCW. I can't remember how or why they do that.
Pass. Can't remember.
Don't know.
Maybe if it's an audio thing, I'll stick it into the podcast now and that'll explain it.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah. The answer to Phil's question is...
Jerry Lynn, tired of being patient, was underutilized by the WWF, was underutilized by WCW. They put him under a mask, called him JL. Creative geniuses down there in Atlanta.
The next one is widely regarded as being one of ECW's best matches ever. It is obviously the 1999 meeting between Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam.
Doesn't Jerry Lynn look like an 80s wrestler?
80s
with slightly better hair.
Yes.
He looks like Dynamite Kid, but like a foot taller.
He does a bit, yeah.
He's got that kind of build to
He
it.
does also look like he should be playing in some kind of death metal band.
Yeah, he does.
Some stage, you can imagine him being, the drummer.
He's got that vibe to him.
In fact, as you saw later on, not quite death metal, but he did go on to front Nickelback. So, that was a crap joke. Never mind.
Good try, though. But it's like weird, like, you put him in the ring with RVD, and like, straight in, he looks like a wrestler. He looks like a wrestler, you know, almost. But RVD looks new, if that makes sense. He doesn't look like, he looks like something different.
Yeah.
I think it kind of speaks to RVD's newness.
I know what you mean. Obviously, once again, I didn't watch that much ECW at the time.
But you'd hear about RVD, though.
Yeah, you hear about RVD. But my first kind of exposure to RVD was probably the Invasion angle. As we covered last month.
Like that was what, 3 years after that, and he still felt fresh?
Yeah, but this is kind of like an RVD who was kind of had his own defined style.
Yeah.
And he was yet to do that thing of just not really being arsed. Because I think there's a lot of like RVDs, especially his TNA run, can't be arsed.
Let's get the money in.
And he couldn't do anything that way. And this is RVD, fresh, young, off the hook, and willing to go with his gimmick, basically, of being this, well, essentially, he was allowed to portray the fact that he was a stoner, basically.
But even though, I think he's supposed to be, like, ostensibly the heel because he's partnered with the man who calls it straight down the middle, Bill Alfonso.
Rob Van Dam and Sabu are standing by with the man who calls it right down the middle, Bill Alfonso.
The manager of champions, the man who calls it right down the middle, Mr. Bill Alfonso.
But he's still getting big cheers from the crowd, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And again, they do like the opening sequences are fantastic between the two.
Well, the opening sequences are amazing. I was just put here, warming up with arm bars and headlocks. Van Dam springboards off the turnbuckle. There's a reversal, and Lynn springboards off himself. There's a really cool moment where Rob Van Dam just walks up to him, inverted atomic drops Jerry Lynn on his bollocks. Then, like, RVD has this whole kind of mocking kind of mode of just kind of grabbing his nuts and kind of, like, going, oh, that. So Jerry Lynn just launches at him and just lariats him.
Leapfrog by Jerry Lynn gets caught. Inverted atomic clothesline. Jerry Lynn took offense to being mocked.
Isn't it by this point they've reloaded the timekeeper's table as well? That's there again.
Oh, yes. There's a moment where Jerry Lynn springboard moonsaults off the ropes beyond out of the side of the ring, over the barrier and onto RVD who's waiting below him.
Bonkers some of those things out into the crowd. Because it's
Absolutely
properly
nuts.
out in the crowd, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's properly out in the crowd. It's probably like this is an insurance case waiting to happen. But no, it's all amazing. Halfway through, Jerry Lynn busts his right knee, which is put across by Joey Styles on commentary.
So much of Jerry Lynn's offense is of the aerial nature. If his right knee is truly injured, is that a severe handicap?
There's also a really crazy moment where Rob Van Dam gets a steel chair, puts it on the ground, does a Mexican surfboard to Jerry Lynn whilst RVD's lying on the chair.
Yeah.
And you're kind of thinking,
I wrote this
where's
and went,
this going?
what the fuck?
Yeah, there's where's this going? Why would you do this? Later revealed that he just flips up Jerry Lynn, gets out the way quick, and lets Jerry Lynn fall on the chair from a great height.
Yeah, I think I thought that. I know that. What is he doing on the chair? ... Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, all right, the end.
I get it now. That makes sense.
I get it now.
Yeah.
There's, I've also put a note on here saying that Lynn power bomb from the top rope to the chair.
Oh, God.
Ow.
I think it's for like awesome chair work.
Yes, awesome chair work.
It's almost like a Mike Awesome powerbomb in ECW time. You know,
a little bit, yeah.
I'm going to put you through this item. I don't care how much it's going to hurt you. Here we go.
It was an RVD leg sweep into a leg drop.
Yeah,
that's the one.
He could do bonkers moves then, couldn't he? I think he can still do most of them, but he kind of needs, a good run up for him. But like back then, he was just so smooth.
So that's just most of the stuff in this match.
And was it top rope through the table onto the concrete as well?
Yes, is that Lynn when he falls out of the ring and then goes?
Because at one point they do a table shot, but the table doesn't break, does it? They just kind of bounce off it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's like a DDT off a table and they just bounce off it.
Yeah.
But there's the moment where Jerry Lynn goes through the table on the outside, and it genuinely looks like he's knocked himself completely for six. Because it's just, you've even got Bill Alfonso kind of trying to help Jerry Lynn up to kind of get him back in the ring under that kind of proviso, and then RVD gets the ring and gets a 2 count off it. But yeah, Lynn does look a little bit, the lights up. Had a bit of a shut.
Like, there's a nasty, I think he gives RVD like a really proper nasty looking German suplex into a pin as well.
Yes, he does.
Like really
the moment.
Proper nasty one.
Yeah, it looks. There's a lot of torque on that. Yeah, they've put the German suplex. Joey Styles says Jerry Lynn will not be denied. And then after that, a tornado DDT from the top rope by Lynn against the table, which does not break.
Yeah. Because at the beginning of the match, like Joey Styles says, I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Would like to make a bold prediction. I feel that Jerry Lynn is going to seize the moment, and that tonight, live on pay-per-view, ECW Living Dangerously is Jerry Lynn's night. Tonight, he grabs the brass ring. Tonight, we crown Jerry Lynn the ECW World Television Champion.
Because of course, this is for the TV title. I forgot to mention that at the top. Yeah.
Yep. This is the first of their 4 matches.
Is it?
This is the first of their 4-match series they have over the next so many shows.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, Christ.
For an opener, it's cracking, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's really good between the two of them. I don't know if they wrestled previously, in other federations or anything before,
I don't think so. I think this was their first meeting.
Bonkers, just to get that kind of chemistry straight away, isn't it?
Yeah. So the big thing about this match is it has a 20-minute time limit.
That's because the bell rings. I'm just like, huh? What? What's going on?
What happened?
Because I can't remember the last time there was a time limit in wrestling apart from King of the Ring, where we had the time limits in that for the for the matches. Because they don't mention the time limit before that at all, do they?
No, they don't. There's no
bell just rings.
There's no. It's not audible on the broadcast anyway.
Yeah. And apparently, the ref has the power to award the belt to Jerry Lynn because he thinks he did best.
Yeah, I think
I thought it was a bit weird, and then it's even weirder for the referee to offer him that belt, and then Jerry Lynn to say no.
No, because Jerry Lynn wanted to win it properly. He didn't want to get. Yeah, he wanted 5 minutes to prove that he could beat RVD, not just by a decision. He wants to beat the man. Yeah. And of course, how does that go normally? Yeah, he loses the match within a minute.
RVD does his 5-star frog splash, and Jerry Lynn's about 4 miles away from the corner or something. Like, he's ridiculously far away from the corner where RVD jumps off, and RVD still nails him with it.
Yeah,
like he's at the wrong angle at the other corner, and RVD still makes it. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, he twists his body in midair to get to land on him in ways that I don't think is possible.
He does. He gets the 3 count on that. It's a really good match, this one.
Cracking.
Yeah. This is
really good.
Best match of the card?
Yes.
So far, yeah, by far.
So far. Yeah. Actually, I think the best match is the next one.
Before we get to that, though, there's a woman pops up now, and she's called Jasmine Sinclair.
Yes.
And apparently she's in porn.
I'm Jasmine Sinclair. I'm the hottest adult film star out there. I'm the new queen of wrestling.
I don't know.
She has her own Wikipedia page.
Does she?
She's made appearances in World Professional Wrestling and such film as Communication Breakdown and National Lampoon's Dorm Days 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Right.
That's her film career.
Okay, just the 2.
Known for her appearance in World's Biggest Gangbang 2, a 1996 sequel to World's Biggest Gangbang. in which he's advertised as performing a record-breaking 300 sex acts with 300 men in a 24-hour period.
Right.
There was only 30 men strategically placed in film. Only 10 of whom were actually able to perform sexually on camera. Well, there you go. Thanks, Wikipedia.
Well, that's that was educational.
Yeah, it was,
Right. Okay.
A little bit of, yeah.
But there we are.
Let's go on
she made 2 appearances for TNA as well.
Oh.
In which she performed a striptease. So there you go.
Oh.
Shocking.
I didn't even know that existed. Hold on. Just got to Google. Safe search off. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway.
You're going to the website again, aren't you, Cameron?
Apparently she was trained by the Blue Meanie, so take that as you will.
That explains everything.
Explains a lot, yes.
But we have skipped the promo that kind of details the history of the Taz Sabu feud.
That's fine.
Was got I think it's the only Paul Heyman bit of the night.
They were hardcore before hardcore was cool. The single most intense rivalry in ECW history is without question Sabu versus Taz.
Yeah.
He kind of talks through the history of it, which kind of shows like their first meeting on the 97 pay-per-view, which was like they feuded for a year but didn't actually touch or have a match.
Yes. It was just a lot of stating, a lot of gesticulating.
Yeah. Which kind of got, I think that, well, obviously, you had Shane Douglas's, throwing the belt away, kind of got them notoriety in the first place, but that kind of got them the wrestling fans in through the door.
Yeah, that got the kind of people looking for a story in the door.
Yeah. So I think I think that rivalry is very important to the promotion.
That one and the Tommy Dreamer Raven feud.
It's nice to get like a nice little bit of history for it, before we get the next match.
Yeah, the next
event.
I think I've written down. Buckle up. Here we go.
The mind of a maniac.
Mustafa versus New Jack, and the music has already started.
Yes. Thank you, Phil.
I didn't know that happened during New Jack matches.
No, nor did I.
Because at some point I just kind of thought, the music's still going. Is this right?
I thought it was like some production issue.
Yeah.
Nope, every single match.
God, it always been annoying. And also, why is New Jack dressed out as the Dudley Boys in 2 years' time?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Why does that happen?
Right, basically, New Jack is a nutcase.
Correct.
And doesn't really deserve to be here.
Nope.
He's a talentless fuck.
But he brings out a wheelie bin full of weapons, which includes a keyboard.
Colourful toy lawnmower. And
don't forget the bit with the guitar. When he swings the guitar at Mustafa and the guitar breaks in midair before he actually hits him. It flies off into the crowd. So he calls for the guitar to be thrown back. And he hits him with it. And about 4 tons of talcum powder explodes out of it.
Yeah.
The guitar split.
That works. It's very much a Jeff Jarrett guitar.
It's
yes.
My God. And then obviously, they're going out to the ring. What's going to happen here?
Oh Lord.
This actually leads into my favourite bit of the probably of the entire WWE network, because obviously he gaffer tapes New Jack gaffer tapes Mustafa to a table.
No, it doesn't tie him to the table, folks. He gaffer tapes him to the table.
He goes up somewhere high, and I'm not sure with this match. He might take some cocaine on the way up. I know he talked on
he did something on the way up.
On the Colt Cabana podcast, he talks like he did at some point, like during the pay-per-view, as he's going up there, just to snort some cocaine, because why not? He's about to throw himself up a 20-foot high, structure.
Yeah. Let's lay the scenario.
Climbs up to a balcony.
He's about 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Mustafa is about 8 to 10 feet away from him.
And he throws himself off.
Yeah, he doesn't even jump. He just basically
falls.
Throws himself off. Practically misses Mustafa.
Yeah.
And just lands on the floor.
Lands and kills them both.
I would try to say, right, can we rewind a bit? As New Jack admitted in an interview that he was high when he did this.
Yes.
I'm not sure whether it was this one, but one match where, like, because I think this one, because he's on camera the whole time. But one of them, he kind of goes, like, out the arena to, like, a back stairwell to get up to where he jumps off. And he just kind of takes some cocaine out of his trousers and snorts it and jumps off.
But then I was snorting coke. I didn't give a fuck. I mean, when I be going up to do my dive, I had coke in my pocket and just do a line, just to do it, just as I'm
Like,
ready to jump.
like secretly or in front of
No,
everybody?
I mean, wasn't nobody with me, but at the security. When nobody, at the security was with me. So I had the shit in my pocket. I'm running up the steps, and they ran with me, and I'll stop it like, hold on for a minute, motherfucker. And by the time I got to where I was going, it kicked in.
You're
so
right.
I was fucking super Negro. I didn't give a fuck. I just dove. Well, like, look up in the sky, as a crow is a bat. No.
Bear in mind, right, obviously you are kind of, as a wrestler, responsible for not harming the other guy in the ring with you, right?
I get what you're saying,
So
Cameron.
here's
Jack.
What a fucking psychopath. Why would you book this tremendous arsehole?
Well, but they did it in XPW and they nearly killed somebody in a scaffold match.
He would die next year, wouldn't he? Well, because the next year's Living Dangerously was the one where they missed the table.
Yes, they did.
And they got, was it permanent brain damage for him or for the other guy? I can't remember what it was. But
didn't end well.
It's fine.
Is that the one where is that the one when, because New Jack is blind in one eye and he blames that for it, isn't he?
Yeah. But all this is justified, Cameron, because you know when you flick through the matches on the network, it kind of gives you the little thing,
yeah,
and little thumbnail description what happens. And it has like the start of the match and the finish, isn't it? You see the
yes, it does.
Yeah.
You go to the finish of this match. It says, New Jack hits risky suicide dive for pinfall victory. Let me read that again.
Right.
New Jack hits risky suicide dive for pinfall victory. Risky suicide dive. A risky suicide dive.
just a little bit risky.
A risky suicide dive, in my book, is going from, say, I don't know, the top rope
to the outside,
to say the commentary table, perchance. Yeah. Like Mick Foley did at WrestleMania 16 and missed. You know, the elbow from the top.
Yeah.
Jumping off a balcony from 20 feet isn't a risky suicide dive. It is an actual suicide dive.
It's a suicide attempt.
He's trying to kill himself live on a pay-per-view. No good reason, as far as I can tell.
He's already said at the start, Phil, that New Jack, he said he would kill himself to kill Mustafa.
True. That is true.
Yep. Entire world that he will hurt himself to hurt Mustafa. That he will kill himself to kill Mustafa.
So he's only backing up what he said.
No.
And the best bit is, they make it back to the ring.
No, they don't make it back to the ring.
They do not
drag back to the ring.
Drag back. Sorry, yeah.
They do not make it back to that ring under their own steam.
Their two dead bodies are carried back to the ring by the referee.
They're helping two half-conscious men to the ring.
Yeah.
I just wrote, and the corpses brought back to the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that and it's over. Yes, agreed. It's over.
But then it all goes a little bit weird.
You don't say.
Well, because the Dudley Boys come out angry that New Jack is wearing their clothes from 2 years' time.
And also that Mustafa's failed in his epic quest.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like... Oh my god, is this why Shane O'Mac started jumping off high things? To kind of counteract this?
Well, I don't know if Shane O'Mac took cocaine on the way up. Well, we have no legal reason to say that's true.
But clearly, when the WWF did it was clearly on something that looked kind of soft.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when he did it, was it WrestleMania 17? No, was it 17?
No.
No, I'm thinking of that was when...
a Backlash against the Big Show.
I'm not thinking of Shane O'Mac. I'm thinking
structure.
when the triple hardcore match. When is it Raven goes off the like Big Show and Raven got off the side of the stage through like a big soft thing, and then Kane jumps off after them.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of tell, like they've actually thought about people's safety when they're planning this, as opposed to, yeah, you can make that, New Jack, that'll be fine. Just land there. It'll be fine. The concrete's not that hard. I mean, 20 foot. It'll be all right.
It'll be fine.
As long as you hit him, as long as you land on him, you'll be fine.
Just don't land on your head.
He didn't land on him. Oh dear.
Yeah, Spike and Nova turn up.
Yep.
They get
this is after the open challenge threat with lots of swearing by Bubba Ray.
Typical of ECW, not to have a tag team with the guts enough to step in the ring with the 5-time World Tag Team Champions, the motherfucking Dudley Boys. Okay, that's enough.
Spike Dudley then is press slammed over the rail and the crowd surfs out of it. I put down here, is this a match? And then they 3D the announcer.
Yep.
And then Sid Justice turns up.
Oh, Sid Justice.
Yeah, I thought, you know what this match needs? Psycho Sid.
Yep, and it gets it. The Dudleys now batter Sid 2-on-1.
Yeah.
This has been going on for absolutely ages.
He's still got a great choke slam. You've got to give him that.
Yes.
Exactly. Spike is back. Spike acid drops Bubba and pins him for 3.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of the page, I put, was that still a match?
Does the bell ring?
It was actually 2 matches in 1.
Yeah.
Oh, an amazing... What is...
I think I put on here at this point, Spike pins Bubba, the match was still going, question mark. And powerbomb to Spike, why not? And another throw table, why not? And then does Joey Styles say, what was the point of that?
Yeah, I put down here a quote from Joey Styles. Honestly, what was the point in that?
Is that like an existential comment about his career at that point?
I don't know.
About the pay-per-view that he's calling. Like, what's the point?
I don't know.
What has happened?
I have no idea.
It's just like when I talked like that bit earlier when at the end of the Guido match, and some people just come out and something and a fight happens.
Yeah,
like that's basically this bit, isn't it? Like 2 people come out and stuff happens for a few minutes, and then it kind of goes away again.
Yeah,
like that's essentially it.
Essentially it, yes.
Yeah. And that's the Dudley Boys.
So that's just one clusterfuck of a match, which goes into a clusterfuck of an angle, which seems to go into a clusterfuck of a match, then a clusterfuck of a post match.
And then Psycho Sid turns up.
Then I think Sid turns up halfway through the clusterfucking. Right. Moving on.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
I put next sad music in promo. Good God.
I don't remember this.
I think is this with Shane Douglas?
Yeah, it's Shane Douglas because he's retiring and he's thinking about who's going to give his title as the franchise.
Yeah, and it's playing some really sad music,
which basically says Tom and Jr. is going to continue the franchise theme on.
Yeah.
Which then leads us to a match of Tom and Jr. and Shane Douglas with Francine against the Impact players of Justin Credible and Lance Storm with the Jazz. This match contains a lot of unsavory chants.
Flex, just incredible, hangs on. The snap suplex does Many Canadians in the house tonight, I would assume.
Storm and Just Incredible. They're a really good heel team, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they're like really nasty and vicious, like not very nice people.
I feel that Storm is the wrestling aspect of it, and Justin Credible and Jazz are the sort of personality side of it.
Because God bless him, Storm's a great wrestler, but you can kind of tell why Jericho got all the belts and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bit more charisma than Storm.
How many people are on the outside of this ring for this match?
I think approximately 17,000.
It feels that way.
Is this also where we get the "She's Got Herpes" chant?
Yes, pretty much. That's got the.
This also show your tits chant within like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
What else have we got? We've got "She's a Crack Whore." Yes, that's another one.
Pussy, that's one as well. Yeah. And then after all that, I think someone does a suplex and they censor the middle finger.
Yeah, I was gonna say what?
Because unsavory. You don't want that going on, do you? As the crowd is chanting, "She's got herpes."
I just wrote down unnecessary censorship running wild.
It's a weird match, this one, isn't it?
It is just really. It's not even the wrestling on the inside of the ring. It's just more what's going on the outside.
Yeah. the crowd. I think the crowd seemed a bit flat, and they entertained themselves by doing really horrible chants to the lady back in the ring.
Mostly, yeah. Apart from the wondrous bit is right. It's like going. They'll sit there and kind of go, "Yeah, chance she's got herpes and all this kind of stuff, and all this kind of other derogatory rubbish." As soon as the moment arrives when Francine and Beulah are having a fight, and obviously, Francine's skirt rides up, revealing where she's got her tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone cheers. So it's like, all right, so you can call her a cracker and all that kind of stuff, but as soon as she gets her kit off, it's fine. It's all fine.
Did she get a ladder at some point as well?
She does bring a ladder down to the ring, yes, and she's also involved quite heavily in the end because Justin Credible goes for a Singapore cane shot onto Shane Douglas. Francine grabs the cane and then just basically kicks Justin Credible in the head, and then Justin Credible gets Pittsburgh plunged for a 3 count.
That's it.
There's also a moment where Lance Storm lifts Francine up out of the middle of the ring and manages to cop a feel of her arse at the same time.
Well done, sir.
Genius. Yes, lovely.
This match is clearly it's more storyline than match. And I think
definitely.
Shane Douglas was clearly, even though at the beginning of his run in, he kind of had a little run in ECW, jumped across to be Dean Douglas, jumped back here, and then jumped across to WCW. Have I got that timeline right?
Don't know.
He's kind of hopscotching between the different federations and stuff, getting himself caught up on drugs.
Yep.
And just basically being an alright wrestler.
Pretty much.
Essentially. And Tommy Dreamer's doing the Tommy Dreamer shtick. And it's certainly a big match. There's lots of shouting and lots of terrible chants.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not the best thing ever.
They make a reference to the Holyfield Lewis match that happened recently. Wasn't there in the podcast they keep talking about how there will be a decision at the matches?
There are no paid-off judges at ringside. There are no predetermined draws. And most importantly, Don King has been born from the building. No judges, no fixed decisions, no Don King.
My notes is Joey starts talking about the ref decision. That there won't be any ref decisions. It will just be the wrestling.
I don't know what sort of time if the time goes up. When was it? That Holyfield? Was that when he was biting ears off?
I can't remember. I think there was
Tyson.
a boxing match where the judges called it wrong or something.
Hang on.
They keep talking about there's no judges in the ring, don't they? Because it's in New Jersey or something.
Yeah, it's New Jersey, so that's obviously making reference to the Athletic Commission.
Yeah.
Because
wrestling and stuff, it's not fake.
No, not at all. Proper contest, this.
Not proper contest.
Proper contest.
With ladders and...
With big ladders and things.
Chairs and
belts. Singapore canes and all this kind of stuff.
It's it's weird because you've had the chaos of the last match, and this is kind of more chaos.
This is just a continuation of chaos.
Yeah. It just doesn't really, it's obviously some kind of big, storyline match, but it just kind of goes nowhere. And it's a bit dull. Even though Credible and Storm are a great tag team, they're a great heel team. It's just a bit kind of boring in the end.
It's definitely a filler match.
Definitely, because the next one's a big one, isn't it? Taz versus Sabu.
Yes, we're down to our main event of the evening now.
Go for that.
Once again, I say it's weird seeing Taz in the kind of position of being like a decent wrestler and being put across as a really good fighter.
Yeah, because they just didn't really... Well, was his injuries kind of mounting up by the time he went to WWF? They had got a year out of him before he went to commentary, didn't they? Was it a year, 2 years?
I think it'd be probably about 2 years.
Yeah. Because he obviously put Angle down in his first match, didn't he? But he never seemed to really kind of get the push that he got at ECW.
No, not at all. I think it's because he was too small. Because he was genuinely just really too small to do anything with it. So they weren't going to put any belts on him or anything like that.
No.
He got the Intercontinental belt, didn't he? Surely.
No.
No.
I don't think he did. No, I don't think he held anything.
That'd be the kind of belt, maybe like the US belt or something, but I don't know.
No, I don't think. Well, I didn't have the US belt back then.
When they could put, Heyman put the full force of the the company behind him, like I say at the beginning, like the promo he gives at the beginning is a great promo. It's like a really good champion promo.
Oh yeah, it's good.
But and the match he has here is great. It's a great entry to the pay-per-view.
That's cracking.
I think it helps that him and Sabu got like a lot of chemistry because obviously they've had their feud previously.
Yeah, they've had all the years beforehand.
I think it's very easy for these two to work together because they know how each other ticks, they know how each other works.
Yeah.
So they can play it, and obviously the jaw comes into play as well quite early on.
Oh, straight away, yeah, it goes to the cross faces.
This is an extreme death match, as I believe it's referred to by Joe Styles.
Yeah, an extreme death match with a rope break.
Yeah.
So I got an idea. I say we make this not only a unified belt match, but an extreme death match. Falls count anywhere in the building.
Because I've put here Taz in the crowd. Sabu jumps over the top rope, only for Taz to chair shot him on the head on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
You can't actually see what they're fighting because of the crowds all around them.
There's a bit where I think Sabu gets Tazplexed over the top rope through the table. And he goes through so hard he breaks the camera feed.
Yes.
Because the camera just goes black when he hits the floor. And it's like, oh dear. Oof.
Isn't it also a bit where it's like Sabu tries to somersault over Taz when Taz is on the apron and tries to powerbomb him onto the concrete floor, but it's too narrow?
Yes.
Yeah, that problem comes up again.
And he ends up just kind of like crunching himself in Sabu's lap, and then they'll land in a heap.
It just doesn't look, he just looks like a little bit kind of oof.
Yeah, exactly. Oofed. Exactly. And there's a lot of Sabu's offense that looks a bit oofed.
Isn't the one like there's like the table in the corner and they kind of both of them go through it?
Yep.
And I think they also at some point they start bad mouthing Flair and Hogan.
Fuck him! Here! You want some Flair? Ooh! Sabu's got balls, Flair! Hey Hogan! You cocksucker!
There's also a dragon Tazplex through a table. That looked like fun.
Yeah.
That does look like it stings a little bit, yeah.
It's just basically like, because I don't actually remember them setting up a table at any point.
No, the table just appears from nowhere, it seems.
Just appear in places all around the ring. Which is,
like a wild table appears.
Which is novel.
What do you want to do?
But it does feel like it's like the RVD Jerry Lynn match, only without quite so much high flying and wrestling.
No, it's more just like
much more of a brawling,
brutal
thing.
And steel chair shots.
Yeah, which is good because like that's their character, and like that, I think their feud's obviously built to a point where this kind of match makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time, especially with the WWF, they kind of get to those matches where the feuds don't really justify that. Like having the bloody Hell in a Cell thing, it just gets my nerves.
Yeah, just having it because that's
they're having it because that's the pay per view they're on.
And rather than saving it and like letting the feuds build to the point where like it warrants having that kind of stipulation, like this feels like this match, it needed to have this kind of level of violence to get things sorted out.
Sabu doesn't care about himself. Taz is solid, but we know that anyway.
Yeah.
And in the end, our Taz comes through and unifies the belts.
Yay, Taz.
Yay, he gets his own belt back, the belt that he invented, by putting Taz in a Taz mission, and Sabu passes out.
Yeah.
And we end on a handshake because why not?
I want to shake your hand, get up. Shut the fuck up, whoever said that. Come on, Sabu. It ain't about belts. That don't mean nothing. It ain't about belts. Shake my hand, I ain't leaving this room.
And which the crowd boo.
That's not what you do in ECW. You go shake his hand and then put him through a table.
Yeah, you just grab him and then just stick his head on a concrete block and then,
Sure. You just curb stomp his teeth until they disappear.
No one bleeds through handshaking.
I'm sure Taz drops a couple of F-bombs during that final promo as well.
Does. I think there's a moment also where someone in the crowd gets on Taz's back a little bit, and before he suplexes Sabu, he turns around this fella and just says, "You asshole."
All right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think with the sound clips for this episode, it's going to have the explicit tag on it, I think, because it's a little bit...
yeah, I think we've probably already earned that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that was Living Dangerously.
I think it's it's not as good as the Jerry Lynn match because obviously that has more.
It's a different kind of match, though.
Exactly, it's a different kind of match. It's not that same kind of match. I think the feud might be better at this point, as a capstone to it. But I think the Jerry Lynn match is better. But this is still a cracking match to finish on, though.
Yeah, it's a good,
especially after the flipping tag team match.
Yeah, especially after basically that match, the tag match before seemed to be the women's match of now.
But you know what I really liked after the end of the last match? They did a nice little recap of the events of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, they went through the whole thing. I just went, "Oh, this is what happened over the evening."
I'm sure, the WWE used to do that. Like you get a little video at the end with what was going on.
Yeah, you had a little sort of edited video that they'd done put together, but it wasn't like as if anyone went through the results. But it was just basically highlights.
Yeah, like a little bit of discovery. I like that because now it just finishes, isn't it? Like something just happens and it ends.
Just ends with Kane coming back for the 80,000th time.
So, what do we think of this overall show then?
Good.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right.
Do you think it's a fair summation of what ECW was?
I think.
It's totally everything about ECW.
It's got the car crash, a glimpse at the wrestling they had at the company.
Yep.
Because I think if you go back a few years, they would have had Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero giving a clinic in the matches and stuff, which they kind of lost that, and they had to rely on the New Jackness of the people to kind of get themselves over properly. So I think this is where you can kind of see it starting to lean a bit too heavy that way.
Mm.
And I mean, the Dudley Boys would only be around for a year or so.
They'd have definitely been left for.
They were WrestleMania 16. They were
in Rumble 2000, so they've got less than a year on them.
Yeah, so they would have gone by then. Obviously, RVD would have stuck around. So I think they would lose more of their kind of their more skillful players.
Yeah, they lose some more talented people to obviously WCW and WWE to the point where by the time we get to the final show, Guilty as Charged 2001, it's a really sad situation because it's literally the bare bones.
Like Tommy Dreamer, and that's it.
Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, who couldn't believe this was it.
Yeah,
he just refused to believe this was it.
But it's still a good show,
Yeah,
I think when it kind of when it hits its stride in the opening match, the Jerry Lynn match, and the final match.
Yeah,
they're as good as anything else on pay-per-views that year. I think, especially the Jerry Lynn match. I think it will be that kind of match you wouldn't find in WWF for a fair while.
Not for another maybe 3 or 4 years, I would say.
Until you got the SmackDown.
Until the Attitude Era, and also the whole Ruthless Aggression thing.
Yeah.
Until they see that more harder, abrasive side, because at this point they were still very, not cartoony, but you know what I mean, very sort of fantasy.
Style.
Whereas a few years later they were very gritty, very real.
Once Kurt Angle kind of got really probably bed into the company, and the SmackDown 6 kind of flying, kind of putting out all their skills and everything, Jericho hitting his stride and Guerrero hitting his stride and all those kind of wrestlers, I think that's the kind of true ECW influence from the wrestling side of things.
Yeah.
Because I think before that, they kind of took the tables and the as JBL would say, the toys and all that kind of stuff to kind of get that bit over. But it took a while for them to actually learn from the wrestling side of things, I think. That was probably Paul Heyman's influence, I would have thought. He was the main person behind SmackDown for that period, wasn't he? So, yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, we have to suffer the invasion first of all, but, never mind.
Whatever.
So, where's it going in the rankings?
That's just what I was about to ask.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
I actually forget these days what rankings we have. I mean, it's not the worst show we've seen.
I've got it in front of me, and still not as good as WrestleMania 8, let's be honest with ourselves.
No, God, no.
Not as good as Wrestle Kingdom 8 in Tokyo Dome.
No.
SummerSlam 2002 is number 3.
Yep, that's still fine. That's still safe where it is.
And then Survivor Series 95.
We're getting to this territory now.
It's definitely middling ground, I think.
It's definitely the middle ground.
And this King of the Ring 93.
No, it's not as good as King of the Ring 93, no.
Then it's Invasion 2001.
Oh, God.
It's better than the Invasion angle. I enjoyed it more than the Invasion
But not
one.
as good as King of the Ring 93.
No.
So that may not be the 6th best pay-per-view ever.
Is that the 6th best pay-per-view ever? Wow. Well done, ECW.
Yep.
For making the 6th best pay-per-view ever.
Yeah. So I think it's about fair because Keely Ring obviously got Perfect Heart, which is as good as Lynn RVD is. I think that match just takes it. And then what's Survivor Series 95 got? I can't remember now.
Stuff.
It's got the Undertaker teaming with the Godwin.
That's true. And it's got Viscera. No, Big Daddy Mabel.
Well, Survivor Series 95 has got Bret Hart, Diesel.
Oh yeah, the table shot.
The table shot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is quite good.
Yeah, that's. Just, I think that's probably fair, to be honest.
So yeah, that's where I'd put it.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah,
I'd put it there.
So as our first ECW pay-per-view, did we enjoy it?
Yeah. As we've already said, it's a culmination of pretty much everything that ECW stand for. It's got the technical wrestling side of it there, but it's also got the trash wrestling, some of which is better than others, and it's quite a patchy pay-per-view. Yeah. It's occasional moments.
There's bits of ECW I still want to kind of go back and watch. Like I wouldn't mind watching the rest of the Lynn RVD matches and going back and watching that. The Sabu Taz feud.
Exactly. Yeah, there's bits that it starts off something quite good.
Yeah. But I think essentially from this point onwards, it's kind of it's a slow decline. Like there'll be a few, like it'll kind of go up a little bit until the end of the year. Then after that, it'll be like the money will start to run out. Will start to run out, and so this is probably one of the best of their pay-per-views.
This is the glory days.
The glory days of wrestling. Full stop. 99.
Pretty much. Yeah, late 90s, all good late 90s.
Doesn't get any better than this.
Where are we going next?
Whose choice is it?
Is it my pick?
I think it is.
Interesting. Now, I think the one I wanted to do, because I remember reading about it in our favourite wrestling magazine, Corn Spots. There was a pay-per-view on WCW in 1996.
Okay.
Which is, I can't remember which one it is, and my magazines are on the side of over there. Might have been Halloween Havoc, I think. Yes, because that's got Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio Jr. on the card.
Oh.
And it was the review. It was like a really good review of the one of the best WCW pay-per-views. So I think because we've given WCW a bit of a kick in. I think we have. Given But I think it's quite fair to say that they did have some good points. So I think we should probably try and do a good WCW pay-per-view.
All right, so Halloween Havoc 96.
That's the one.
Halloween Havoc. I'm just running through the card now.
If you're playing at home, that's next time's homework.
I'm just going to skip by all the other ones. Hold on and get down to here because it seems to have gone to just general Halloween Havoc. 96. Here we go. So we're looking at Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio Jr., Diamond Dallas Page, Eddie Guerrero, The Giant and Jeff Jarrett, Six and Chris Jericho, Luger and Arn Anderson, Steve McMichael and Chris Benoit, with Meng and the Barbarian.
Yes.
The Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, and Harlem Heat, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan against Randy Savage is your from the Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada.
It's 96, so it's about 3-4 months after the NWO were formed. So
it's pretty much So
this is sort of the rise of the NWO.
Yeah, probably peak NWO. So that seems like a good one. I think. Give that a whiz.
So that's all right. Yeah. Okay. So Halloween Havoc 96 for those playing along next month.
If anybody does ever play along,
I say, well, not really, but there we go.
You can dream.
We can always dream. I try and plug these sort of things,
Yeah. Good work.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Good podcast.
It was. It was a really good podcast.
Yeah. Well, do you reckon Al will be back next time or not?
I think so.
I think it's. Let's face it. It's a pay-per-view that involves Hulk Hogan.
But to be fair, and it's got Haku and the Barbarian. So
exactly.
Surely.
It'll be good.
I mean, he's not in the powers of pain, to be honest, but...
No. But it should be fine.
Should be fine for him.
I'm imagining the Geordie one will be back in good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Cameron will be back, and Euan will be back, and I'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be the foursome again.
Yeah, they call it the full-on Conquistabores.
Exactly, the full-on Conquistador experience.
Yeah.
I like how we're hanging that on there, the full-on Conquistadores experience, and leaving that open to interpretation as to what that entails.
Yeah. You just know it's going to be sexy.
Oh, it always is. Always is.
Yeah.
I've not got the heating on here. It's just really hot and steamy already.
Cameron P.S. Phillips.
Oh, yes.
Purely sexy.
Just like the side of that phone box I found.
Oh, God.
Anyways, I would say before it goes downhill, I would end it there, but I think
it's gone way downhill already.
Down, then back uphill, go back downhill again, I think so.
Yeah. Peaks and troughs. Peaks and troughs, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Conquistabores have left the building.
What was the point of that?